this is really important for several reasons. First of all, learning to collaborate. Learning how to pitch jokes for other people is very important, and learning how to accept jokes from other people is really, really important. Because if you're doing it alone, you only have one point of view of looking at it. From your life experience. It's just your life experience. Right now we have, a half a dozen or more life experiences looking at each person's ideas and jokes, so we can generate a lot more ideas. Part of it is we also have to set up. You have to set up a situation where everybody feels safe to be able to pitch jokes that don't work, and they're not going to be embarrassed or humiliated. So if somebody pitches a bad joke, just kind of ignore it and move on and pitch another joke. So we get as many as we can. It's important not to argue with people. That isn't exactly my style. Okay. What I'm saying to you is just say to them, thank you, that's a great idea, and move on. Okay. On the other side of that, let go of your good ideas. If somebody doesn't seem to be open to it, move on. Find another good idea to pitch and put it out there. The idea is, what we're doing is pitching as many jokes as we can for somebody. Because once you start, we need to be able to tag jokes. It's very important to tag jokes a lot. Okay? I like people to work at 5+ laughs per minute. That's a professional level. When you start working that way, it really is astounding. And you can't do that from setup, punch, setup, punch, setup, punch, because 95 to 99% of a joke is in the setup. So you're spending 95 to 99% of yourself not being funny because you're doing these long setups. Setup, punch, tag, 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 tag. Setup, punch, tag, tag. So try to, don't stop. We come up with a good idea, tag it. Look for the tag, look for the tag, look for the tag. Yeah, and some of them won't be good. And at some point we'll kind of go, oh, we're tired of that. Great. Let's take it too far. It's important to learn how to do this because there's so many jobs in the industry. A lot of staff writers for sitcoms are stand-up comedians because they understand jokes. Okay? They need to learn how to write. So you need to learn to pitch, because if you watch sitcoms and stuff, it's around a table. People don't realize that one person gets credit, but there's 15 people writing each one of those sitcoms, and they're all pitching jokes. Some of my students have actually gotten jobs because sitcom producers are like, wow, you really know how to pitch good jokes. Wow, you just need to learn how to do story better and character better, but your pitching is amazing. They learned it in this class. Emerson, give it a shot. Let's go with you.
Let's do it. I grew up in a small town in North Carolina that had the most per capita meth labs in the state. God took a dump on this place and called it Walmart. Everyone was out of work. If you were a capitalist, you sold drugs. When I was 16, everybody started dropping out. By the time I was 18, everybody was pregnant, in the army, or in prison. Let's see. I'm a man, so I can't get knocked up. I like shooting things, but I hate getting up early. Meth cook it is, then.
All right, let's work on this. Okay, what's the very first phrase that you say? What's the first sentence that you say?
I grew up in a small town in North Carolina.
Let's start there. I grew up in a small town. Yeah, a small house. How small was it? I don't mean to be too cliche. How small was it? Does anybody got any small jokes?
Mayberry looked like New York City.
Yeah.
It did, actually.
Yeah.
They had a downtown.
Or so small it doesn't have a name.
Actually, our downtown was a tanning salon.
Our school bus was Julie's van.
To make it look larger, they put mirrors at one end of the city.
Nice. To create the illusion of space.
Right. The sign that said hello and the sign that said goodbye, same sign.
The population sign had one of those little flip things or whatever to change the number every time. Every time somebody left or arrived, it just went 3.
That's geographically, it was huge. It was just that everyone was a mile apart. My next door neighbors were through 1.5 miles of woods. I shit you not.
You don't know if the bear shits in the woods, but you do.
I saw a sign once on the way up to Fresno, and it was for drunk driving. It had 50 words on it. It was that big, and I was like, that's ridiculous. How are the drunk drivers supposed to read that? I only ever saw it once. It was one of those orange construction signs. It said "Men in Trees." I was like, "Men in trees? That's ridiculous." You know, everyone's just gonna look up at the trees and not at the road. And why do they even show us that? It's not like I'm gonna hit somebody by accidentally swerving upwards.
He's got a routine about signs
Yeah,
that are they're ineffective, is what they're saying, and that's his premise. So let's work from that on this. So what are some other signs that are really ineffective?
My favorite is the huge one beside the road that says "Watch the road." Or I guess way up over your head. Or
And
they always
falling rocks. What the fuck else are they gonna do?
That's what I thought about Men in Trees.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Rising
like the
rocks.
falling
It doesn't work that way.
And you know, if you could talk about pessimistic signs, those Amber Alerts are a real bring down. You know, it should be like,
Yeah.
Julie's going to Disneyland or something. Really positive.
Or even the signs on the way to San Diego, it's like the mom and the 3 little kids, like you're gonna see them anyways, and maybe just hit them for the fun of it.
You might hit them because you're looking at the
If they're
sign.
trying to
Hey,
get
that's a
away.
match.
Yeah,
They should have like point values over there.
yeah, it's a suggestion to aim.
And
It's
the
what it is.
conversation
Get
took a
ready,
racist
people.
turn.
Get ready, people in the street.
Well, it's the same thing with the ones with deers on them. You know, it's this big galloping deer, and you go, "Hey, that matches. Should I?"
They should have those same signs coming out of Canada. So when you're coming for the U.S., you don't have these fat Canadians running across the street. Or strolling, really.
Watch out for snowbacks.
Yeah.
Well, now they're just trying to get us. Like with those Amber Alerts, they always say call 911 for a drunk driver, and then if you see a drunk driver, you're like,
Now
oh,
you
damn it, now I'm on my phone.
Now I'm getting a
Yeah,
ticket.
you're calling in an Amber Alert, and he pulls you over and gives you a ticket for being on the cell phone.
Yes.
Hi, I see a drunk driver. Are you in your car?
You told
Yes.
me.
You need one more click it or ticket sign.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I swear to God, they're bloody. There's one on the end of my driveway, for heaven's sake. My wife's got one next to the bed. I don't know what the hell it means, but
the bike arrives, and I open it up, and I get the instruction manual out, and right there on page 1, in the top in bold print, is a sign that says, "Not for persons exceeding 265 pounds." My wife starts laughing, and I say, "What?" And she says, "Oh my God, you have to lose 30 pounds before you can work out."
All right,
Great,
yeah.
I'm too fat to work out.
Wow. What's your first sentence?
We are the fattest nation in the world.
How do you know that? How do we know that?
Jeff looks in the mirror.
And the world's behind me going,
When Jeff was overseas, we were actually number 2. You're too big to fail.
Right, you guys had like Snow and Bryan Adams. You had to come to the country that invented canned cheese.
I like kids.
One of the great things about joke writing is the more you write jokes, the better you get at it. I've just always seen that true. More people write jokes, they get better at it. Write shorter jokes, more specific jokes, with really great punches. You just get better and better and better at honing that skill. So do it on a weekly basis with a group of people. Couple things is your shows are going to get funnier and funnier and funnier and funnier, and you're going to get better at these skills of writing jokes. So get your groups together and ritualize it and learn to collaborate with people, because I'm telling you, it's going to go a long ways to creating a great career in stand-up comedy.